Ooh, cha. Ooh, cha. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Ooh, cha. Ooh, cha. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Ooh, cha. Ooh, cha. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Ooh, cha. Ooh, cha. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Ooh, cha. Ooh, cha. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Hey, living my best life. I ain't going back and forth. Child, Jadon is out here acting a fool. Do you hear me? Ooh, child. True black. Jadon is out here wilding, okay? Jadon is acting a monkey. Y'all, I named this, and I'm gonna say it again later on in the live. Ooh, child, girl, you know you playing dirty. And I put Boomerang. Oh my God. When Lemon was live, he did like a 3.5 hour live. And while he was live, because I was going in and out, because you know, I go to the Mo 3 Center to get a little stuff. And I've been moving around YouTube over in the Envies and other places. Well, when I went back to Lemons, they were saying that J Don was streaming his live. And he told his moderators, he said, one of y'all go over there and see if she's streaming my live. And then people start saying no. Okay. Now what J Don did, she streamed a portion of his live and turned around and struck that part of his live saying it was her. She did like a copyright strike and saying that was her shit he was over there using, child. She struck him. She struck him with his own shit. Do y'all hear me? J Don, you know you playing dirty. Now I don't know how long, if this can be resolved. I've heard of this happening before, but his live, it went down in the middle of him talking, child. But that girl copyrighted him with his own shit. But see, J Don, now see, when she get mad, see, a lot of people don't realize this. When she get real mad, she's just gonna keep going and going and going. She won't let up, you know. Um, and see, she got mad at Lemon and P bombed him last night, which to me that was wrong, and to me that should have been enough. You done P bombed the man channel. He had like almost an 8 hour live, and he had to throw it away, which he needed to throw that live away because it was a lot of stuff done in that live that should not have been done in different parts of the live, okay? Not just the P bombing. Audio was up there putting pictures like of people, mamas and sisters and stuff like that up on his He would just kept changing his picture of people that was like in kin family, allegedly. And I think Binary seen it and say, man, he putting up pictures. I don't know who pictures them is, but he putting up somebody picture, some pictures. He keep changing the picture, and them is people folk. Come to find out they was kins. Well, they let that slide, which I would have stopped the live right then, and started a new one and like clip that end off of where he started changing the pictures. Now audio no better than that, you know. Um, but see that could have got his channel struck. Like Ken could have struck it. And you know how Ken is once he get mad, he'll go back and get that and strike it like he might wait a month. So see you don't need to keep stuff like that up on your channel because people can strike you later on. They don't have to do it right then. And see, like I said, what Jay Don did tonight, she streamed some of his live. I don't know how many minutes it was. But when Lemon found out, and people started saying, she's streaming you, he like, what? And all that kind of stuff. And then he told one of the mods to go over there and see. And when they went over there, she wasn't streaming it anymore. They came back and said, no, she's not streaming you. And in my mind, I was saying Jay Dunn is going to strike him with his own stuff. But see, you can't tell Lemon anything. He on his own. He getting ready to see a hard road hoe with Jay Dunn. See, she like this kind of shit. It excites her. She said she had so much pleasure out of doing that P-bomb on him last night. You could hear it in her voice. And she bragged about it all day long today. And like she was over at Envy's talking about it. She was bragging about it over there. And Envy was like saying, ooh, I'm scared to have you on my channel. And he was talking like that. And she was saying, I ain't gonna do nothing to it. Well, on the spaceship they telling Pizarro the same thing. Like when tonight, the day when they was talking, because Jay Dunn spent a lot of time on the spaceship today. And like I said, she was gloating about taking Lemon Champ. And he was getting mad and he was cussing her out, calling her all kind of B's and fat MFers and all that kind of shit. Now that's the live that Pizarro did earlier, and that live is still up. And he had told Jay Don on Pizarro's live, I'm gonna do a live tonight, and we're gonna drag your ass, and I'm gonna have that panel open. And anybody that's got anything against you, they can get up there and drag your fat ass. And he kept saying that over and over. And he said he was gonna do it at 4 o'clock his time, which would be 6 o'clock my time. Well, of course, he did the 30-minute thing, and Hunter, I was right there waiting on him to go live. And when he hit the live button, it was total silence for about, I say 20 some minutes, but no talking, nothing, you know. And then he finally came on. And when he came on, honey, he was dragging Jay Don. And let me tell you who I went up there on the panel because that live is gone for now. Yeah. ZX went up there. Rodney, Max, Boogie. That's a lady from the Mo3 sector, Mo3 beef sector. Audio, Dragon J Don. Um, Mr. West, he wasn't Dragon J Don. Dimples, I can't remember if Dimples got up there. It was Lemon cussing Dimples out in the chat. So I don't know about Dimples. I can't say for sure about her. And Shakira Chicago. I don't think she said anything about J Don. But like I said, I was in and out of the live. You know, I had it in the background, but I was like at Broadways and at Envies and all of that. Uh, mm, okay, I got it. Okay, now it looks like I mixed some of pizza live on my notes with lemons, but I can give you just like the like I said, the points on lemon is like people that drug J Dunn. They was talking about her weight, talking about did nobody want to F her, uh, talked about her sex toy. Uh, they just it was really bad things that they were saying about. But I knew it was gonna be a bad one of those kind of live. Cause Lemon said it was, and he's very upset. Well, child, he gonna be more upset. Well, he's more upset now because see, she stopped. She struck him. She did it, and child, he don't know. Jadon don't give up, and like Shakim, remember he struck her with a false flag. She haven't forgot that. Jadon is working on something with him, and I think that what she's gonna do with Shakim is gonna like take him to court. Because he was saying that was his when he struck Jadon there. He struck them for their thumbnails and stuff like that, and all of it was false. So Jay Dunn have not forgotten that. Shakim, he think he sitting high right now. She gonna snatch that rug right out of from under him, just like she did Lemon tonight. Uh, Hopefully somebody will help Lemon get this resolved. Hope he don't sit on his hands like he did the last time in because he had a lot of strikes. And then, like I said, he was down for so long. He was like scared to go live, so I don't know. Well, another thing that was discussed over there at Pizarro, uh, Lemon, a lady was supposed to be donating $500 to him. And she said that he could use it for either the talent show or he could do something else with it. So he was going to, supposedly, was going to have a giveaway, like a Mother's Day giveaway for the mothers. Well, I went in his live late last night, so I did not even know if he did the giveaway before I got there, and I didn't see nobody saying nothing about it on the panel, and didn't nobody say nothing about it in the chat while I was there. That was the live that got P-Bone. Well, they asked him about it over at Pizarro's today, and he said that he had discussed it at the beginning of his live. He gave like 15 minutes explaining what happened. And what happened was the lady that said she was gonna get a $500 for the giveaway. He contacted her Saturday to see if she's, if you're gonna give me the money because tomorrow Mother's Day. Well, the lady did not get back with him until Sunday evening, right? A couple hours before we went live. Something came up. She talked to Lemon about it, so it wasn't no giveaway. The $500, didn't, you know, that's why they didn't have a giveaway. And then they discussed that for like about 40 minutes over there at Pizarro, just shooting him questions and stuff. And why you didn't have it? You could have took it out of your own pocket. And this and that. You don't never do nothing for your members, and you don't never get back to. to your subscribers. You don't do nothing for the people. That's what they were saying over there, Bizarro. And like I said, y'all can go, red ball through there, because their live was lit, honey. Um, let me see what else. Okay, at pizzas, let me get the lineup of the people that was on there. Child, this a mess. Jay Donna struck that man with his own shit. See, she like this kind of stuff. Oh Lord, I thought he. Oh my God. See, you can't be playing with. Yeah, they like he was doing her last night on that live that was P Bomb. He was he was letting J Dunn come up on the panel. She came on the panel one time and she said that like his moderators was messing with her and this and that. And then she went back up there again because she said they was timing her out. And then when Ness came, Ness started, you know how she do be talking, cussing and dragging people in the chat. Well, she was doing that last night. She was in rough form. She drew Tracy in the chat. She drew J Dunn. And I mean, she was saying awful things about J Dunn, about her Ussy was turning inside out, and she used that biggest sex toy, and it was bad, okay? And don't nobody want your Ussy, and then J Dunn, I mean, Ness was trying to rap to Shakira, Chicago, that lady, and she was also trying to rap to Mika. She was putting her Jones on. They rap to them like a nigga, okay? And saying nasty stuff too, you know. Um, it was bad. Um, and then stayed over to Lemons, till he got P bombed. So she was over there about 4 hours last night at this. Trying to pull this up with Pizarro. I wanted to give y'all the lineup of different people that was on her panel. Just a second. It was a lot of issues that was getting ironed out. It was people getting thrown under the bus and everything else, okay? Okay, let me see. Where's pizza? Where is? I know I made some notes of pizza live. Wait a minute. Doggone it. What did I do with it? Just a second. Okay, like on Pizza Live, it on her panel, uh, throughout the day because it was a long live. It lasted all day. Uh, Rodney was up there. Jay Dunn, Lemon, Dimples, the church lady, Ken Nola, and Uppy. So it was a lot of dragging on the live. And like I said, Lemon was cussing Jay Dunn cussing her out all day on the live. Now Pizarro did make it clear that she did not agree with what Jay Dunn did, but she could kind of see it, you know. And then Pisa was saying just like Envy that I don't know what she'll do. She might do me like that. And child, Jay Dunn said she had a hit list. So I guess it's Shakim is on it, and I don't know who else. But she said that on the panel over there, like on different people that she don't like. But see, we won't know it until she strike, okay? But that's just how she moved. And see, like I said, that's how she did Lemon. Like I said, she done people on the man. Like all this is within 24 hours. She P-bombed him, and now she construct his channel on. But his channel wasn't down when I went live, but that live had got pooped. Okay, And see, I don't know about a lot of the rules of YouTube because I really don't care because I'm not gonna be using people information and and I ain't gonna be threatening nobody and now they might get me for cussing and stuff because I do use cuss word. I don't use nobody else material. And see, I don't know what else I can get. I don't know what I can get struck off. But like I said, I don't know the rules. You know, I kept up with the rules better when I wasn't going live because I would get them notifications about this rule is gonna happen and this rule. Because I used to keep Tracy up on some of the stuff. That if I seen it, I would tell her. But honey, now being a content creator, my mind just boggled. I ain't gonna do all that shit and get my mind all messed up, child. Okay. Um, let's see. I'm just looking to see. I think that's about it. You know, if y'all want, like I said, if y'all want to see what happened over there, you can go to Pizarro's and get the rundown of everything that happened, and then how it led up to what happened tonight. And I went to Envy, and I went to Envy live today. Um, he from the Mo three beef sector, but he do keep an eye on Lemon channel, and he keeps his eye on Shakim channel. So um, but he also keep his eyes open in the Mo three sector and the black sector. Well, he was playing video that Vic Damone did concerning the P bombing that happened on Lemons last night. That was his commentary was about on his live. But girl, y'all, Vic, he talks so slow. I have to be in a mood just I'm like relaxed and stuff. You have to just be kind of just relaxed to listen to him. Well, see, I wasn't relaxed because all that shit that had been going on, the P bomb, and then how they were dragging over there Pizarro and all of that. And I went, like I said, Envy was playing Vic. Now Vic is all for Jay Dunn, okay? He don't see nothing that she did wrong. That was what his lab was about. And he said that if the people in the beef sector turn their back on Jay Dunn, she could always come to the black sector. They'll take her with open arms, child. And I was saying, okay. Now she'd have been over there. You remember she put intrinsic her news out. Okay, you say you want her over there. She'll have a field day over there because she ain't, the little bit of time she spent over there, she almost caught a charge uh for putting intrinsic news out. And I'm gonna tell you something else now. It's that lady named unapologetic Mika. Jay Dunn like her. Okay. And I mean Jay Dunn be talking about how she gonna use that sex machine on her and all that kind of bullshit. And she, you don't nobody, you better not say nothing to Nika sideways. And so her and Lemma got into it over at Pieces today. Now I bounced all the way to another conversation, and I was talking about something else, but this popped in my mind. Well, Lemon and Jay Dunn got into it about Mika because Lemon was telling her like, she would never, and Jay Dunn said, I got her phone number and I know her address and this and that and that and this. I don't know why these folks be giving folks their addresses and shit. And I don't get it, but that's what J Dub said, okay? Now, Mika, you don't know who you fucking with J Dub. Now, you keep playing around on that phone with her and stuff. And like Lemon asked her, have you sent her any nudes? Because when she get mad, she's going to use stuff like that. She can't help herself. Well, uh, Mika, she was at the doctor because she's supposed to be having surgery Thursday, and they kept trying to get her to come up there, which we didn't know. And she had like the regular people, we didn't know Mika having surgery. That was something new to me, and I don't care what kind of surgery it is. Hope she come through her surgery good. Well, she was saying that she was at the doctor's office. She couldn't hit the link. So then her friend, I can't think of what her name is, she got up there and she said, "Look, she's at the doctor. She ain't got time for this. She trying to work on her. She's trying to prepare herself for this surgery, and she just don't want to be in this shit, in y'all shit. You know." She was talking to Lemon and J Dunn, and she said that Mika don't want to be content. She don't want y'all, discussing her and this and that. Well, Lemon say, I understand. I won't say nothing there. Well, J Dunn, of course, she was going on and on and on and saying stuff to Lemon about Mika, and Lemon kept saying, I'm not gonna talk about her no more. She said she don't want nobody to, she don't want the content. I'm not answering no more questions about it. I'm not saying anything else about it. Jada, of course, she was going on and on and on and she like me and this and that and this. Well, honey, uh, about a little bit later, Mika hit the panel, and she was telling them, I really don't really want to be part of this and that. And Jada said, don't we talk and this and that and that. And she said, yeah. And Lemon say, be honest with her. Tell her that you don't want her like that. And so Bernadette was trying to say, how somebody time people try to want to say something to you, but don't. But to me, you need to pull the band-aid off the soap. You need to just go on and pull it off. But Mika is gonna be trying to be nice to Jay Dunn and talking to her on that phone and all that kind of bullshit. And she says she like to give people a chance. She have seen Jay Dunn in action, and she haven't done anything to me. And blase this and blase that. And when Mika tried to talk to Jay Dunn about, hey, I just want to keep it like on a friendship level. But then she messed up and said that she the one that approached Jay Dunn, that she thought she was cute. And hell, if you tell Jay Dunn that, she gonna think you wanted her. And when Mika wasn't talking like Jay Dunn thought she should have been answering her goddamn question, Mika Jay Dunn called and said the woman was old and all that kind of bullshit. Do y'all hear me? And the woman say, "Well, I know my age, and I'm not up against no younger women, cause Nest name came up and all that kind of shit." And I was saying, "Lord Jesus." Well, honey, Jada told that woman she was old, and Mika told Jada, she said, "I look better than a lot of these young women, because we do have older ladies in this sector that are very attractive. You know, like New Biology, that's a pretty woman. Fifi TV, that's a pretty woman. Mika, and I'm gonna tell y'all something else I found out today. I was just shocked. You know, Diva Tomboy, she do those shorts, like going from, she just be roaming YouTube throughout the day, and if she catch a short like a good drag, she'll make a short out of it. Well, she made a short, and it had Jadon avatar up there and Chris's ex. And come to find out Chris's ex is Mika. And I didn't know that. And she's a nice looking lady because she had her avatar up there with her picture. And she's like yellow. She kind of bright skinned. She not no ugly woman. Because I always wonder. But I'll tell you something else. That Mika lady, when they had that, how King Roman had them impersonation contest, she impersonated Ness on there. and she looked different than her avatar. Because I remember that Princess lady, but I didn't know that Princess and Mika was the same person. Huh. Well. Another thing that came up is, over at Pizarro's today, Lemon said that he had put Dragon like on, she's supposed to be a judge in the talent show. And he like put her like to the side, or maybe you are is and maybe you ain't gonna be a judge. And it was because the reason he said it was because she had not seen him her picture because the judges are gonna be on the, on the the damn it, the thumbnail. I just say thumbnail. It's supposed to have all the five judges' pictures up there, and I don't know if binary picture gonna be up there because he like a co-host, and then of course Lemon. So that's why he say he had um, Dragon, like on hold as far as being a judge. And every time they say something about Dragon, I put in there. The girl is so excited about being a judge. You know, they need to just leave the girl alone. Let her be a damn judge. If they talking about she gonna go off and all that kind of stuff, well, if she do, she do. Not to let her be a judge again, but let the girl try. You know, because like when she was invited to be a judge, she had came out. She was hitting panels. She was so excited, but people are telling her she need to be in the contest like a contestant. She don't want to do that. She want to be a judge. You know, everybody don't want to be in every contest. And she was really proud. And so now, after they talked over there in Lemons, because Dragon put her picture up on the community wall for them to use for the flyer, for the thumbnail, which I'm glad. So hopefully that's the last time that Dragon gonna have an issue because that shit get old. You know, I got to answer all these questions. You want me to be a judge or don't want me to be a judge? Because Ness don't want her to be a judge, but Ness ain't running nothing. You as a judge. But Lemon, he be listening to what a lot of shit that Ness say, okay? Because, child, let me tell you this here. Now, she told Lemon to go over to Shaquille this morning. And I know I heard Lemon say that last night on Shaquille's panel. That Ness told me to come over here. Why would he do what Ness say do? Why? I don't get it. And you better not say nothing against Ness. As far as Lemon concerned, honey, he gonna fight tooth and nail, and he's in her corner. He was so happy that she was on the panel last night. He was letting her. She was getting to cuss out the moderators. She was getting, all that kind of bullshit. Now, Jay Dunn got, she couldn't cuss the moderators out. Why come Ness get to cuss the moderators out? I don't get it. So, I'm not going to say anything to Lemon about that. I'm going to, keep doing what I'm doing. And today over there at Pizarro, they was bringing up that you be letting Woo still come over there. Woo have PP bombed Lemon a couple of times. So Jada, what she did ain't no different than what he let Woo do. Woo put a camera down between her legs over there in the Mo 3 sector. It was number PUSSY on that screen on Soul Player and Soul Player Live. And it was up there like 30 minutes, and she was laughing and said, P-Bomb, strike, P-Bomb. She had 30 minutes to do that job with that camera between her legs. Do y'all hear me? And when I told Lemon about it, I told him about it. Because, like, stuff out there in the streets, when I hear, I do come back and let him know. Well, after I told him that, he listened to what I had to say. And the next night, he had Woo on his panel. Sure did. The next night. And so after that happened, I said, I ain't going to say nothing else to him about nothing that I see out there in the streets. I don't care if I'm in a live and on a channel that don't nobody be at but me. It's the people I don't know. If they say something about Lemon or they gonna do something to Lemon channel, I ain't telling him shit because I've tried. Okay, I warned him about Woo. She did exactly what I said he was gonna do. Like when she started doing that P bombing over in the Mo 3 deep sector, I comes over here and let the B sector know, hey, Woo's the people that let Woo on their panel over here. I said, look, Woo is over there P bomb. That's the best I can do. So from now on stuff like that I found out in the streets, in these other sectors, I just come on my lab and say it. So y'all will know if this shit happened over there. I told you so. Okay? But I don't think Woo the part of her bodies that she been showing lately, she been doing it back behind stage. You know, they'll drop her backstage so she can show them their coochie or her titties. You know, child, that's some crazy shit. Okay. Let me see what else. Yeah, like I told y'all, I went to Envy's, and they say that YouTube cameras had a really good live this morning. But see, I had been to Lemons, and after I went to Lemons, I ran around the streets like just to see, hoovering to see what lives I missed and this and that. And then I decided to click into the Discord. So I stayed over there about an hour and a half. And then I left out and I came, fiddled around a little bit and got me something to eat. And I made a live and I got something to eat and I went to sleep, you know. And then when I woke up this morning, that's when I started moving around and then Pizarro went live. Like I said, I was at Pizarro's all day because her live was good, you know. Um, Now after I left Lemons, I told you guys I was moving around. I went to Envy's and then I think I went by Jackie's and uh, went by. I think I rode. Yeah, I went through by Chanel's and her and Isha into it, and she was supposed to be coming back later tonight. And see, I got to catch up on Chanel's live. And let me see who else into it. Now, Bimp has scheduled a live. Now, it was supposed to be on earlier, and Broadway decided to come on. And so Bimp was putting his live off. I don't know if he ever went live, but I think he probably got busy because, he raised his son, and his son is a teenager. So, they might have, shit happens. And so I don't know. Um, Now, I'm getting ready to get to what I was doing before when Lemon was live. I left Lemon live because I seen Broadway had went live. I missed the notification, but when I noticed it, he had been on like an hour. So I went in there, I'm an hour late. And when I went in there, he was dragging the hell out of Pope. Okay? I mean, he drove that man. Do you hear me? And let me tell you what he was saying, Chuck. Now, Duck went on the panel for a little while, but he didn't stay up there long. Duck My Boo. He didn't stay up there long. Well, uh, he said that now this 357 talking. He said that Polar was a clown ass nigga. He was saying he was crying about uh getting bought off of Broadway's panel. So Broadway had that buy down, and like the last time that Polar was over there on his panel, somebody didn't want to hear what he said, and he bought his ass off. Well, when Polar went live the other day, he was dragging a whole lot of people over in the Mo3 sector, but it was mainly Duck and his brother, 357. And so this is what Broadway was discussing. He was saying that, like when Polar was saying that Broadway did this number one, he did this number two, and number three, you're out. Like baseball, 1, 2, 3, you're out. So, uh, Broadway was saying tonight that okay, you got mad because you got brought down. I don't give a damn. Anybody can get it over here. He say he don't play that shit. Just cause we cool that you can't get bought off his panel. He say anybody can get bought off his panel. Okay. Um, and then he do like Mahale sometimes. Shit, people buy them out. That tickled me so bad when they do that. He said that Polar also said number two, the reason that he, you know, this is number two strike for Broadway. He was mad because Josh drug him on his own panel. And he thought Broadway should have got up there and regulated Josh. And he was saying, nigga, I ain't gonna do that. Yeah, that ain't never been me. And Josh ain't did nothing to me. Josh was just in your ass. Oh, which is the truth. Why would Broadway jump up there and jump on Josh? Because Josh was dragging Polar. That's crazy. And he was whining about that. Um, and so another thing, he had got timed out tonight in Broadway channel because he was in the chat. He was doing the rolling eyes emoji, the kissing emoji. And Broadway, honey, he seen that kissing emoji, and he told his moderators, timing him after 24 hours. I ain't got time for no nigga be throwing kisses at me in the chat. And so, of course, the mods did it. Um, and then he also said, Broadway talked about what Polar had said about him waking up with somebody jacking him off. Well, I found out more about that from over there at Broadway. He said that Polar said that happened to him when he was in the 8th grade. I don't know if it was a sleepover or what, but some kind of way another boy was doing that to him when he woke up. And he said he didn't know the boy was gay. Now, if you're in the 8th grade and you a boy and a boy doing that to you, he gay, okay? Now you should have had common sense, Paul. Talking about he didn't know the man was gay. Well, the boy was gay. Child die. Okay, wait a minute. And then Broadway say, Polar have enough nerve to be calling everybody else gay. Now you the one got people whacking, pulling on your whack. And you lying like you didn't know they was gay. Child, and then he was telling about how Rainwater drug Polar over there at Sin City. Polar couldn't say nothing. And Rainwater kept saying, is it true that you be messing with them transsexuals? And Polo wouldn't say yes, and he wouldn't say no. And Rainwater drug him until he got tired. And but Polo went up there messing with Rainwater, and Rainwater wasn't in the mood for that shit. And he let that hammer down on Polo's child. I was saying, what? Okay. But he was saying, Broadway was saying, that Polo got enough nerve to be calling everybody else gay. And then Polo be talking about, and them other men, because that naked picture of my boo duck floating around, you know. And so all the guys are talking about it and, saying stuff about his thing. And Polo is another one that talk about duck thing. In his commentary, he always get back to duck thing. And then Broadway say that he had enough nerve to say he wondered what Broadway thing looked like. And Broadway was saying, nigga, please. And Broadway also told him to pull up on him like he said he was going to do Brandon, which he ain't pulled up on Brandon. But Broadway say, come on down. Come on down. The water is fine. Whew, shot. And then he was calling him a gay ass nigga, a pussy ass nigga, a lame weird ass nigga. And he said that he can't do the news because allegedly Polo used to do the news over there in the Mo3 sector. I don't know because, like I said, I don't know a lot about Polo. You know, um, he said that Polo used to do the news, but Polo be getting run off of YouTube. Like he got doxxed, they say allegedly one time he ran off of YouTube. And this, every time something happened, he get a little crisis, he run off of YouTube. Okay, so he a runner, he a track star, and he thought that they say Broadway was saying tonight that like every time it's an issue, Polo leave YouTube, and then he might be gone for 6 months, and he come back. And he think that his supporters, they supposed to be over here waiting on him. He don't think nobody should start a channel and all of that. And then he be wondering who the new people are. Like I told y'all, he said something about Snapping Turtle. It's people from all kind of sectors over in the Mo3 sector now. Polo, you have to be here to keep up. You have to look in these chats and see who. Just because you don't know, don't mean the other people don't know. Now I don't know Snapping Turtle, but I heard his voice for the first time the other day on the panel. Uh, but it's a lot of people. You know, the Mo3 sector have really grown. You know, and then more people are being content creators. You know, out with the old and in with the new. If you are older content creator, you can't keep up. Just step back and let the other ones, don't complain. Either jump in there and do what you're supposed to do, your commentary, or get out. Just the only choices you have. And like I said, your subscribers are not gonna wait on you. You could be gone for 2 weeks and they be gone. Or either you might lose half of them. You never know how a crowd gonna move. It goes in waves. Like this the popular one right now. The next 2 months, that person might be down to 40 people in the chat. It went from 300 to 40. Or from 600 to 300. It is what it is. And you can see that with Lemon. Like when he got those strikes, he was off all that time. When he would go live, it wouldn't be as many people in there. He's got to getting his momentum back. People are slowly coming back. The ones that went out in Never Land, but some of them ain't never coming back. You have to keep people interested, especially if you got a bigger channel. So like me, I ain't got to come on here every day. but like every other day. I can come on a couple times a week, but like Pizarro, people that have that kind of momentum, they do it every day. You got to do it every day because people are used to that. You know, because the streets get dry when they take off. All of them might take off the same day. Here, we never know the subscribers. We don't know unless they tell us. Like King Roman told his crew that he's gonna be gone for like 2 weeks. But all the content creators, you don't get that kind of courtesy. Some of them just say, "Get out! I just ain't gonna lie." They got something to do in their life. You know. So then Polar wanted Broadway to denounce his brother over that Nurse K shit. That sounds insane. He ain't gonna put his he's not going against his brother for no chick on YouTube. You know, and like Broadway say he wasn't serious about no Nurse K. She was just another woman. And that's just it is what it is. I don't know why she think giving her body to these people on YouTube is gonna make her more accepted or what, but don't expect nothing out of her if you give it up easy. And that's in your real life too. Like people that you dating out here in the streets, if you giving everybody something the first time they meet you, don't nobody really want you. They'll do you late at night. But like for us taking you somewhere like riding in their car and all that kind of shit, or you going by their house, and staying a couple days, they ain't gonna do that. You just gonna be a hit it and quit it. And then they act like they don't know you when they see you out in the streets. Like you getting done right now. Like he don't want to have nothing to do with you. And nobody that you hang around with. Well, Broadway gonna follow his brother. He's not gonna throw his brother away for nobody on here. He'd be a fool to turn against his brother. And like I said, my brothers, honey, they were some hoes. They would mess around like that. You know, to see if they can get the girl to do it and all that. But it wasn't nothing like none of their main women or nothing. It just these, like they say, them skunks out there in the street. Okay. And if you try to go with the brother, you ain't got no business even looking at the other brother. There's no reason for that. If you really was interested in Broadway, well, nothing Duck should have been able to say to you to get you to drive to Arkansas and get him some. How come you never did go down there and get Broadway some? Because he wouldn't let you. He didn't invite you. That's why you didn't go down there. Because you drove 3 hours down there for 3 minutes of sex and 3 hours back. No, Broadway don't want that. He got them kind of women in his hometown. He ain't got to wait for you to come no 3 hours. Child, bye. It is what it is, child. It is what it is. But Broadway did not denounce Duck, which I already knew that. Okay. Let me see what else he said about him. And he's let Polar know he ain't stopping nothing. Just he said Polar done lost his motion. He said, but he ain't affecting his, Broadway motion no kind of way. Broadway, he kept shouting out to different people that was sending him Apple Pay because he doesn't have monetization on the channel that he was on, which was the Hog Pen. But people were sending him cash apps to the Apple Pay. And he was saying, shout out, I ain't gonna look, see who sent me this, but you know who you is, shout out. And he kept doing that while he was dragging, and I was getting my life. Do you hear me? And then, child, he said that he had been on 13 minutes and made $85 because them Apple Pays was started coming in, child. And that's not no bad money on to be on for 13 minutes and get $85. That's some good cash. And he said that he won't be doing that, like saying I've been on 13 minutes and but he was just doing that to rub it in Polar face. That's all he was doing. Okay. He was showing them he was showing them that Arkansas uh grizzly bear. That's what he was showing the night child. Okay, and what else did he say? And he said instead of you talking about him denouncing Duck, he said that the Polar family denounced him. They denounced him because he was trying to go to with his cousin, and I passed out. Do you hear me? I hit the floor. He also said that Polar was a freak and a thief. Allegedly, Polar. Now, I've been hearing this here, but I hear a lot of things out in the streets, and I have always heard this about Polar. Child, they say he broke into somebody's house and fixed a sandwich and ate it and put some porno on the TV and sit down and ate that shit and went to sleep. Now, that's the dumbest criminal I've heard of in a long time. Now, I know some dumb criminals, but I'm bad. Okay. And I told y'all about how we was talking about Duck Dick and how he said he wondered what Broadway dick looked like. Let me see what else he said. And he said he made it very clear that Polar ain't stopping nothing that's going over there on 357 Broadway channel, and he ain't stopping nothing over there at the Hall Opinion. He said you need to worry about your own shit. He said he don't talk about you. You came out there dragging everybody over the Mo 3 beef sector. So, child, he was calling the women and the men out over there the other day. And I was like, and see, the reason way I heard it is because I went over to Cool's and she was doing a reaction to Polar's video. See, Polar took the video down, but Coolin, bye baby, Coolin, I guess I don't know what she did, but she had it and she was reacting to it. And then after she got through reacting to Polar, she reacted to Cam Talk Too Much video. Okay. Now that's all the commentary I have for that, for the beef sector and for the Mo 3 beef sector. But I got something to tell you guys. Now y'all know that rock, no, the heavy metal band Metallica. Well, child, they had a concert bigger so I could tell y'all. Because I thought this was interesting. It was eye-opening. Okay, now they had a concert and it was like in the stadium, like the football stadium. It was packed. And their song, the opening song was Inner. Wait a minute. Wait, let me make that bigger. Because I thought this was something. Okay, wait a minute. I usually do this part at the beginning of the live, but I start talking about stuff. Okay, now the opening chords of the song the Sandman, Inner Sandman. And it like that's how they started the show out. And of course it was loud, okay? Well, the fans, which was like 60,000 in the stadium, they went crazy. Like screaming and stuff. And do you know they shook the stadium? They said that it vibrated the earth, that you could feel the tremble like a mile away. Okay. No, ain't that so? They say they shook the earth. And they said it didn't pose no danger like to the public because like on the Richter scale, like what they measure the earthquakes with, it didn't reach like 1.0 because they them earthquakes they be going up to like 6 and all that kind of stuff. It didn't go like it didn't go that like that, but it did register on the Richter scale from a damn concert. Now there was a lot of noise. And so and that song, that Inner Sandman, that's like the song that they play, for the sports, like when the football players running out there on the field, or the basketball players running out on the court. That's like the song that the school use a lot. So I thought that was a pretty neat story. Okay. Now that's all I got to say. Now Pisa, I think her dance contest is the 16th of this month. Um like I said, Duke Farrell say he having a meet and greet on June the 7th. I mean June the 2nd. I don't know much about it. I have to go through and see if he puts some on his community wall, and I'll let you guys know. And of course, Lemon is having the talent show on June the 9th. And that's all I got for y'all, child. Okay, now before I came on, because I looked around the YouTube streets like after Lemon uh the live got removed. I looked around real fast to see if anybody was going live, and Pizarro, she had went live, and she was talking about. I listened to a little bit of what she was saying, and y'all can go over there and hear it because I just listened for a couple of minutes, and I came over here and I said, let me do my live before it get any later. You know, um, I'm gonna be running around to see if Lemon come back on. I'm gonna run in Discord to see if they doing what they doing over there. I'm gonna run back over there to the Mo 3 beef sector to see what's going on. And I'm gonna be hoovering around here in the beef sector. And I probably run into y'all some of the places that I go. Okay. Now I'm gonna speak to everybody and I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm getting the hell out of here before J Dunn strike me. Okay. And for the people that came in late, I named this Ooh Child. Girl, you playing dirty. And I put Boomerang because J Don struck Lemon with his own shit. She did the went in his live, recorded so much of it, and turned around and struck him for a copyright. Now that's dirty. Okay, Daquan. Rob S, you hear me? Rob S, you say a heavy duty sex machine. Yeah. J Dub got one. Hey, 2300 Jackson Street. It's always home. See who else in here. I want to speak to everybody. Daquan, have you been doing any gaming? I might be just missing you. Hey, Jill's comfort zone. Child J Dunn is out here acting a damn fool. Do you hear me? Now I don't know how long it's gonna take for Lemon to get this straightened out. I don't know how legal that is, because I don't know the guidelines and shit on, or the YouTube. Yeah, the streets on fire. The streets been on fire all day, Viber. Viber. Jada out here acting a damn fool. She done P-bomb the man, and now she done turned around and copyright strike him with his own shit. And it's been in less than 24 hours, child. The unfiltered muffin. Jada is out here acting a damn fool. Okay? Mills, you be clowning too now. The bills be raising hell, y'all over there. I love every minute of it. Ooh, child. Let me make sure I speak to everybody. Because I appreciate you guys coming, coming and spending time with me. I really do appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 3,000 wow. Okay. Hey, sincere girl. Jadon over here cutting a monkey. Do you hear me? Sincere. She done P-bomb Lemon and Child. She done turn around and copyrighted him with his own goddamn laugh. With his own damn laugh while his damn laugh is live. Now I've heard that could be done, but see, I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about them guidelines. I don't know if you could beat that. I don't know. I don't know the rule. Lady Sparkles, hey child. Lady Sparkles, they cutting up over here in the beef section. Okay. And Broadway come back out tonight, honey, and he was stumping the yard, honey. Cause Broadway ain't been on in over a week. And I was fiending. And when he went off, because he did like an hour live, and he drug the whole hour, and then I went in late because I didn't know, that he had went live. And when I noticed he went live, he had been on like an hour. And honey, as soon as he went off, I red balled it back, and he said he keeping that live up, and he said he don't give a damn if y'all strike. He said what he said, and he left it up so everybody over in the Mo3 Beef sector can hear what he said and how he stand on everything. Okay. Broadway got to get on. Broadway was there kicking ass and names like a child. So I think I put it on my community wall. The places being today. If you're interested, like I said, piece of last gone, and 357 Broadway, and I went by Envy's, and where else I go? Well, like I said, I put it on my community wall, and if you want to hear some good, excited, good lives, over there to piece, because honey, her live she did earlier was the one. Okay. When you got to hear about what Jay Dunn did, what she did, she was on the panel and she was taking, and Lynn was also there, he was taking questions. And there was other people up there shooting them questions, and it was a good live. It was informative, okay? And Broadway's live was informative. Because like I said, I don't know a lot of people that comes back into Mo3. It's been over before. Like I said, the guy, I don't really know much about him. I've heard about him, and I'm getting to know him. Okay? And like when she was doing his reaction today, she would stop and say something. She would have something to say. And see, I learned a lot more about him and his history on in the Mo3 set. And that really helped me out a lot. And then also she reacted to Cam's, one of his lives. That helped me out a lot. Okay? So y'all can go look at those lives too. Polar. I think the name of his channel is Polar Bear or something like that. And then Cam Talk Too Much. You can go there and see how they sell issues over there. If anything got resolved, if it did get resolved. Which what I seen did not get resolved, okay? But ooh, child. Honey, I gotta go out here and see what Jadon doing, what she doing next, because honey, she on the rampage. And she's having the time of her life. Hey, Shaquila. She's having the time of her life. This kind of shit, she love it. So Lemon, buckle up, baby. You in for a ride. Okay. Ooh, child. I wonder what Lemon, how he feel. He done got the old one too. And I hope and she don't get in the 3-4 tomorrow, he ain't gonna be able to take that. Okay, he's not gonna be able to take the 3-4 because the one almost killed him, the P bomb. Then she turned around and did the two. That was the strike. And see 3-4. I don't know what that's gonna be tomorrow. Okay. Now y'all, ooh, child. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.